The Customs Area Controller, Seme Command, Comptroller Timi Bomodi, says the devaluation of Naira has positively impacted on exportation of Nigeria's local products to neighbouring countries in West Africa. Bomodi said this in an interview with the news agency of Nigeria, NAN, when some senior staff of the agency, led by the head of NAN Lagos operations, paid a visit to his office in Seme, near Badagry. Bomodi said that devaluation of Naira had increased the growing local economy.
Imports and exports are usually affected by market forces. By this, we mean that both the demand and supply, so you have the pull of the demand and you have the push of the supply side. And again, you have a fundamental aspect that has to do with the exchange rate. The exchange rate plays a very big role in determining demand or the purchasing power of individuals. When it comes to imports, if the exchange rate is high, then it usually will not be an incentive for people to buy. And two, I will talk about the exchange rate of the Naira vis-a-vis its impact on export. Now, as the value of the Naira began to decline, you found that Nigerian-made goods were considered cheap within the region. And that incentivized people from outside Nigeria to want to purchase goods from Nigeria. So while we complain that the exchange rate had a negative impact on imports, it had a positive impact on exports, because it meant that, yes, we couldn't buy goods because the dollar was high, but people saw the cheap Naira as an opportunity to get more goods from Nigeria. For the first time, you had a net export gain for Nigeria vis-a-vis our neighbors, because you found more goods leaving Nigeria to go to Benin Republic and other West African countries than were leaving Benin Republic to come into Nigeria. And we are talking about growing a local economy. We are talking about incentivizing local production. So even a devalued Naira is an advantage for exports. So it's not such a negative thing. But you know, in trade, you have to balance both ends. I think that is what the government tries to drive at when you are looking at the policies of government, when you're looking at monetary and fiscal policies and how, you know, you can achieve the goals of the government, which is growth.
He added that facilitation of legitimate trade was one of the primary responsibilities of the Customs Service at the Seme border post.
Here at Seme Joint Border Post, we are given the responsibilities to execute our core mandates, and our core mandates are the facilitation of legitimate trade, the collection of revenue for the government, and the enforcement of fiscal policy in the areas of prohibition. We recognize that the Seme Joint Border Post is strategically located at the Lagos-Abidjan corridor, which is considered to be one of the most viable trade corridors in West Africa, indeed the whole of Africa. It is so viable, so strategic to the economic growth of West African countries that the European Union and other international agencies are ready to cough out humongous amounts of money to develop infrastructure around this axis. And I'm not just talking about the roads, you're talking about rail lines, even telecommunications and other related infrastructure that can actually help to facilitate trade.